Oh my goodness.
We are getting new servants now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's in the upcoming chapter, not what we've just gone through.
We went through I forget their names, but there were two, so all the old servants left.
Yeah,
They
and then we had...
have got new servants, but
what
the
did they
old
call
servants
themselves?
have still passed on the name of Yasu. So
Belnon and Asnon or something like that.
they're all non-nons.
The two blonde ones, they shared their story. That was a while ago.
I thought you were about to say they shed their skin. I was like, oh, I missed that bit.
And then... yeah, last time it was the... Yasu becoming Beatrice. And like editing her internal world.
Yeah, and pretty much like kicked herself out of her dorm room, so poor Shannon's there by herself.
So Beatrice became the nameless witch, who will later be known as Garp.
Mm-hmm.
Yasu becomes Beatrice. The White Witch, with gold butterflies.
Mm-hmm.
And Shannon is just Shannon on her own, with one bed.
She's been exiled and abandoned. Was there always one bed in there though, or was there two? Or is this just part of the editing that they've done on the world?
No, I think there was just one bed. Like the bed and Shannon stuff are imaginary originally. But now Shannon's the only one there, so you don't need that extra bed.
True.
Gotta save in that processing power in your room. I don't know if that makes any sense.
The RAM of the mind.
Alright, so we'll start now.
Bow, 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 bow.
I assume that is variety. And I guessed right. I was like, who are we gonna get next? And I said Mammon.
Did you check the bathroom amenities?
So right.
What?
So right.
Yep, went down that whole list. Did you make sure they were facing the right way when you set them down? Yes, of course. Everything's as the list says. Thanks. Genshi-sama, the guest rooms are ready now.
Good work. Make sure you check everything over with your own eyes, Shannon. Also, Madam has ordered us to change the tablecloth in the dining hall again.
My, why again when we all worked so hard to change it earlier today? After all that practice, I've forgotten not to use voice. The color of the tablecloth simply does not fit. Once I saw it against the backdrop of the room, I could see that it matched terribly. We should use a different tablecloth. Oh, and did you make sure to clean the chandelier in the parlor? I don't want Ava-san looking up and saying, oh, is that dust? And even a spiderweb again.
Do not worry. It has already been carefully cleaned and checked. I will now perform a final check on everything myself.
Is that so? Very well. I will also check everything over at the very end. Shannon, take the young servants and prepare a new tablecloth. Try to find something white with a bit more of a clean feeling. Yes, as you wish. Is it me? Yeah, it is me, isn't it? We're still doing as Beatrice as well.
Natsuki. Whatever you want.
Natsuki was even more high-strung than normal and walked about barking orders here and there. Even though the sky was beginning to get dark, the servants moved hurriedly about. Tomorrow is the annual family conference. It isn't particularly rare for each of the individual families to visit the island, but this is the only time that they all come together. It was the most important day of the year for both the Ushiromiya family and Rokkenjima. Natsuki, who was short-tempered and on top of being highly strung, kept ordering that the servants redo this or that, since it really didn't look good after all. This would keep them going until late into the night. Now that Shannon had many years of experience and Natsuki had put her in a position of responsibility, she was called over many times to have strict orders showered on her. So, when Shannon finished her shower and lay down on the bed in the servant waiting room, she fell asleep almost instantly or immediately. Is this Shannon?
Probably.
Can you go one more?
Cannot.
Okay.
I can hear the sound of wind coming from somewhere far away. It's a bit different from the sound wind outside a room would make.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It's almost as though I'm sitting in a deck chair in the rose garden, turning over in my sleep, with the feel of the wind in my hair. That's right, the feel. This isn't a sound, it's a feeling.
So it's like Shannon's lying in bed, and now it's the time for Beatrice to
awaken.
Yeah, kind of.
Then is this a dream? Just as I was about to accept this theory, I thought I heard someone talking to me.
Beatrice?
Look
up. My, it seems the work of a servant is just as boring as it ever was. Not only boring, but difficult, strict, constraining, joyless. All you get in return for your years of service is some level of respect from the newer servants. And even that is far from sufficient to repay you for all the hard work you've done. Why do you not tire of this life?
Huh? Who?
I think that's you, Ducky.
She wasn't just imagining someone talking to her. She was shocked to find that it was real. When Shannon opened her eyes, she gulped.
This place.
She couldn't say any more. She was literally stunned silent. Shannon, who had been sleeping on a bed, was somehow in a rose garden. However, though this rose garden somehow resembled the rose garden of Rokkenjima, it was also completely different. After all, the roses were golden, and it wasn't just the flowers, but the dancing butterflies too. It was a golden rose garden of mysterious beauty. Somehow Shannon was sitting in a chair under the arbor. It was as though she'd taken a nap there and woken up from a dream.
Do you think they got the inspiration of golden roses from Animal Crossing?
No.
Why not? It's a pretty old game.
Gold is gonna be reflection of the actual gold.
I know, but why gold roses in particular?
I don't think it's exclusively Animal
Why not
Crossing
blue
related.
roses or like something more impossible?
Because the gold roses. If you had blue roses, it would make no sense. I think you could probably get away with white roses, maybe. That's about it.
Do you think this, like, Beatrice, so the culprit, this white witch Beatrice, Do you think they knew where the gold was?
Dunno.
Do you actually not know, or are you trying
not
to
telling
lead
you.
me down the wrong path? Feeding
I'm
me
not
red
leading
herrings.
you anywhere. I'm just... It's not a red herring. I'm just not saying anything. But it
Is
felt
it-
strange. What are you saying?
I was going to ask, is it a valid question?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Excellent.
Is this golden rose garden a dream? Okay, now it's you.
For some strange reason, it felt as though my entire life up to this point had been a dream, and that I had finally awakened here.
Welcome, Shannon. Welcome to my golden rose garden.
There was that voice again.
Shannon looked around to find who it was. As she did, a golden butterfly landed on the seat across from her and instantly created a human form. I always imagined the butterflies as like the ones we always saw. They're kind of like orangey.
Oh, like a monarch butterfly.
I think so.
It
I
has
don't see
been
them anymore.
It has been quite some time, Shannon. It's because of let's not get into environmental issues. It has been quite some time, Shannon. How have you been? Have you been well? Of course, I know you have been. After all, I have been watching all of you every day.
This woman laughed as though she was an old friend of Shannon's. However, Shannon obviously didn't remember this strange gold rose garden, and she didn't remember this person's face either.
Indeed. You no longer remember me, do you?
Have I forgotten about you? If so, please forgive me.
There is no need to apologize. I made you that way, so it is no sin of yours. Let me introduce myself. I am the Golden Witch Beatrice.
Beatrice Summer? The benefactor of the Ushirimiya family whom the master always speaks of?
Not that Beatrice. I am the Golden Witch, the one who rules over Rekenjima's night. I am the other master of the mansion, the one you always pay homage to.
You are Beatrice Summer.
You need not fear. The two of us used to be friends, no, roommates, did we not? At one time I idolized you and tried to be the best servant I could.
I've always had a single-person room, so I couldn't have had a...
When we last parted, I stole away your memory. However, I have not forgotten that we were once roommates. I also remember that I was the one who destroyed our friendship and left. So as not to leave you alone in sadness, I erased all of your memories in the very world of our days together.
So you can be even more lonely.
I know. You do not need to understand. But believe this, I have not called you here to do you harm.
Isn't this inside one of my dreams?
You may think of it that way. Strictly speaking, I beckoned your soul to my garden while you were sleeping, to invite you to be what is this?
Resident of this world?
It was so delayed on my end. To invite you to be a resident of this world.
Yeah, I think the internet's been a bit weird today.
Beatrice snapped her fingers and a storm of gold butterflies all rose up around the rose garden. As the cloud of butterflies danced over the table, a gorgeous tea set appeared. There were teacups and a teapot more elegant than even those used by the Ushirimiya family. The tea was filled to the brim and had a sweet rose scent, one which I had never smelled before.
I want to see what's next.
The way you said Ushiromiya then.
What?
Ushiromiya
Oh my goodness.
is such like a Western.
I'm trying to balance between like doing a really high voice and then a really low voice.
No, it's just like, it's exactly how I hear it in like a lot of, like, I guess
Oh, when they
YouTube
do the,
videos
like-
and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm on the same page now.
Before there was even time to be amazed by that scent, butterflies started gathering one by one on the table, and a tea stand sprouted right out of it. It was like watching a magical mushroom from a fairy tale kingdom grow out of the ground. It was a many-layered tea stand filled with beautiful cakes like edible jewels. Of course, there were also several lovely light brown scones. The honey truly was golden honey, with bits of gold leaf dancing through it.
Oh, I don't know if I'd like that. It seems the Ushiromiya family holds tea parties from time to time, but those cannot compare to mine.
Incredible! I've never seen anything like this.
Even if you did, it would only have been as a waitress. You are my friend. I need no waitress. After all, I am a witch. That is more than enough. Come, do not be shy. Stuff yourself to your heart's content.
Thank you.
Did you say it?
No, you say it.
No, the very much I was waiting for.
I didn't see it very much. Go back. That did not show up on my end.
I was trying to like preempt it because I thought you would have had lag.
No,
That was all Shannon
it
managed
skipped
to
it.
say. Yeah, I probably just skipped it too quick.
We got lag. Lag! No, the lag!
It would be hard for anyone to say much more after being suddenly invited to such a beautiful witch tea party.
Let us begin with black tea. The milk is fresh and the sugar is so delectable that you'd almost want to eat it raw. But I recommend you try your tea straight first, with nothing more than a single rose petal floating on top. It will surely be so delicious that you'll be unable to drink the black tea of the human world ever again.
Laughing happily, Beatrice opened not a sugar pot, but a rose petal pot, picked up a single crimson petal and floated it on her tea after relishing its scent.
Shannon did the same, picking up a single petal and smelling its aroma.
It smells so wonderful. Is this really the scent of the roses in this world?
I am glad you enjoy it. I bred this rose simply for the purpose of using the petals with black tea. If you crush them, they're almost splendid for making jam. That goes better with scones than anything else imaginable. Do you want to try?
Sure, just a bit.
Shannon had been invited to this witch tea party suddenly. However, the witch seemed so truly innocent, and her smile as she played with the hostess was so happy that it made Shannon want to smile too. The tension in Shannon's heart gradually faded, and she started to enjoy her chat with this witch.
I like this music. Servant work really is tiring. I remember it well.
This is George Shannon music.
Is it really?
Yeah, this would play like back in the first episode even, I think.
I don't remember hearing this one before.
It's like when you would, I think it's when you would propose and when they're at the beach and stuff.
Oh. Okay. Maybe I'm listening to it in a new light since they're here and being all friendly instead of dealing with like the intensity, I guess you could say, of George and Shannon's love. Oh my goodness, there. They're so intense. Wait, does that mean George is technically in love with his cousin?
We don't talk about that.
Ah! Servant work really is tiring. I remember it well, particularly cleaning the windowsills in the chapel.
How surprising. So, you worked as a servant once too?
For a short time. You probably don't remember, but I worked alongside you. I was a clumsy fool who always lost things. You were my idea of a perfect servant, and the person I looked up to.
That makes me even more sorry that I can't remember.
There is no need for apologies. Here you are not a servant, but my friend and guest. There are no inconveniences here, no trials nor boredom. I can give you anything you desire. That is how much power I currently possess. I wanted to let you know that I have now reached that level.
I'm truly grateful to you for welcoming one with so few redeeming features in such an extravagant way.
Think of it as a reward for all of the painful days you had to withstood. Come, gold butterflies. Don't let my friend get bored. Show her a little dance. When you have tired of that, allow me to call the band to perform any song you would like. When you have tired of that, my refined familiars will show you some conjuring tricks. Conjuring tricks is what I should say. Fear not, for time is endless here. And I can grant your wishes endlessly. My tea party has no end.
In a truly good mood, the witch told Shannon several strange stories. They were all stories Shannon had never heard before. Very interesting stories, and they were all odd, bizarre fairy tales. Shannon felt as though she had become Alice in Wonderland. The time she spent at this tea party was strange, pleasant, and relaxed. No, the clocks have no hands at this tea party. So the time passed like a Sunday morning when you can wrap yourself in your blanket for as long as you want.
I can't express how grateful I am to you for all of this.
There is no need for thanks. In the human world, words of thanks go along with words of farewell, do they not? There will be no end to this tea party, so there is no need for thanks either.
I'll still thank you. Thank you so much, Beatrice Summer, for this wonderful tea party. But all dreams must end, and so must this one.
Oh, and why must they end?
Because I start early tomorrow. If I stay here talking too long, I'll sleep in. And Madam will give me a good scolding.
Why are you so anxious to return to the world of that short-tempered Natsuhi? Really now? Are you truly saying you want to return to the human world, where it's all work and no rewards?
But I am human. I can't impose myself on you forever.
Shannon, it seems that you do not understand. I invited you here, but I have no desire to chase you away again. Here, time is eternal. You are not obligated to say farewell, not ever. I will never tire of enjoying tea with you. On the contrary, it is quite agreeable to have you here to talk to.
I'm grateful for your words, but I am human. I must return to my own world.
Why do you want to return to that colourless world, where you waste all your time with school and your job and the family works you to the bone?
Despite all that, it's still my world.
Shannon, does that sort of world really need to be yours? Let me be honest with you, Shannon. I didn't invite you here. I came to take you home.
Take me home?
Once I tried to become a good servant like you. Then I became fascinated by witches, and became one myself, learning all the pleasures of magic. And now I have come to take you home.
Beatrice spoke quietly and rose from her seat.
Shannon, the world of witches truly is more fun than being a servant. This tea party is nothing more than a mere welcoming party for an old friend. We can hold as many fun festivities as we desire. That is the endless, the eternal. Now that this golden rose garden has been completed, I have reached my goal. This place is paradise. Yes, let us call it the Golden Paradise. Now that it has been completed, I have come to welcome you in. There's no need for any inconveniences, any perseverance or hard work. Here you and I can enjoy ourselves for all eternity. It would be like a never-ending fairy tale.
I'm truly grateful for your splendid proposal. However, I need to go back to my original world.
How to get turned down 101.
Oh my goodness. Why?
Because this isn't my world.
I acknowledge it. This is not the world you have lived in until now. That's why I invited you here. From this point forth, this will be our world. You are no longer a guest. You are the second master of this world. You need show no restraint for my sake. We'll just live in this endless world like we once lived as roommates.
I regret that I have no memory of that time. However, I'll have to turn down your invitation.
Why? What responsibility forces you to return? Why do you need to return to the world of humans?
Yeah, that is Shannon.
True, the world of humans or the world of servants is busy all the time. Madam is strict, high-strung, and has a short temper. It'd be a lie if I said that everyday chores weren't a pain, and having to balance work with school makes it even harder.
Beatrice had watched over Shannon's painful days the whole time. She had seen those constantly tired shoulders heave in a sigh over and over. That was why she had invited Shannon here, to this golden paradise. She had tried to give Shannon a perfect welcome, to truly make her happy. So why had Shannon selected her original world over this one? Beatrice was overcome with shock and completely unable to understand.
I have given you the perfect welcome to this paradise. And the days to follow will be even more fun. So, since you still choose the human world over all of that, do you find something there that is even more fun than the pleasures of witches?
That's right. There are things in the human world that are even more fun than magic.
Absurd! That cannot be.
Yes, it's true.
Shannon's expression was soft. However, her words were firm. There was something wonderfully fascinating in the human world, and that something was apparently not in this paradise, where everything was supposedly just as they wanted.
Absurd. I don't understand.
As Beatrice muttered, she shifted restlessly several times. However, no matter how often she said it, Shannon's smile didn't falter, and Beatrice couldn't think of an answer.
In that case, it's time for me to leave. Your tea was delicious.
I don't understand. I am the great golden witch, the one who can have anything endlessly. You tell me that I cannot give you what you want?
Yes.
I want to know. I believed I had everything, so tell me, what is it that I lack?
I think that you already know. Isn't that why you invited me here?
Are you trying to speak in riddles to a witch?
That's all for now, then. I can't live here, but I would be glad to come over whenever you invite me for tea.
I won't call for you again. Have no fear of that. Banished!
Beatrice snapped her fingers, and Shannon popped out of existence. Shannon's soul had returned to the dream of her original self. While humans have many dreams in the night, they can remember none of them. The tea party in this paradise mixed in with many other dreams and vanished. The next morning, Shannon would not remember this tea party. However, Shannon's cup remained here. The witch who had lost her guest and was standing alone looked all the more lonely. The witch dug her fingernails into the tablecloth. That grimace as she bit her lower lip made it clear that she still hadn't solved the puzzle Shannon had left behind. Was it the epitaph?
Nietzsche? There's no need to worry about it.
A black hole opened above Shannon's empty seat, and the owner of that voice fell out of it.
I do worry. Ah, come on, how could she say it with such certainty?
Maybe she just wanted to get back to sleep quickly, since dawn is coming soon.
What pleasure could Shannon know that I do not? What is this something that can be found in the human world? But not in my paradise. I don't understand. I want to know.
Thinking about complicated stuff will just fuel your headache. I can be of service in Shannon's place. Let's enjoy a tea party together.
I don't feel like it anymore. I'm bored of having tea parties with you.
Oh, she's cranky.
The witch shrugged and laughed, then took a bite out of a scone. She then blew into it, and it swelled up like a balloon, before finally popping. Golden ribbons and butterflies flew out, but Beatrice didn't appear to notice.
Just what is it that I do not possess? What?
It's probably this blue eyes white dress.
I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Unabridged the other day. It was so good.
Unabridged.
Yeah. No, abridged. I think it was abridged. It was like an abridged compilation.
Was it like the OG Little Karibo abridged series?
Maybe.
I think it's like... I don't know if there's another one, but I think it's the only one.
Well, this one was like... So there was a big long one, but this one was like really short, so only like 18 minutes, I think. I found one online that's like over an hour. Or like 2 hours something.
It's probably that.
I don't
this
remember who
old
did this
dude.
one. Was it you or was it
would
me?
have been me, probably.
Okay.
I mean, he's had like 2 lines.
This is true.
I'm like- We didn't voice him in the first 2 episodes, so...
True.
Watch your step there.
Thank you, Captain. Make sure you take good care of yourself.
I've got a friend who sells this stuff that's supposed to be great for stiff shoulders. I'll bring you a sample next time.
Oh,
Why
no
is he
need to
winking?
trouble yourself.
Why is he winking?
But thanks for caring. Wink, wink.
Wink.
Hey, brats. How long are you gonna mess around up there? Let's go. Hey, Maria. Come down off the boat with Mama. Maria, who Rosa led by the hand, was still too young for kindergarten. However, she seemed to notice that her cousins, whom she rarely ever saw, were playing all around her. She was very excited. Battler and George had the energy of middle school or nearly middle school kids. Those two, along with Jessica, who had met them on Nijima, were clambering about on the boat. "You okay, Asumu? You really don't like riding things, do you?" Rudolph lent an arm to his wife, Asumu.
Wait, do we get to see her?
No. "Welcome to Rikenjima. Thank you for making such a long journey." The whole family had gathered for the conference. At this point in time, Rudolph's wife was still Asumu, and Anji hadn't been born. Goda and Kanon hadn't yet been employed by the Ishirimiya family, and the witch's epitaph, which would toy with the family's fate, hadn't appeared yet. Okay. They probably couldn't even imagine the bizarre crime that they would encounter several years later.
Oh, Krauson.
Son?
Summer. Well, it cut off.
Oh yeah, Kraus
Summer.
son. Hey, how's it going? I'm just your servant, you know?
Crow Summer, madam. The family has arrived.
Good. Should I call for father?
Please do. I will go welcome everyone. Oh, Shannon! Who cleaned this window frame? It still has dust on it. Quickly, wipe it off.
As you wish, madam.
Oh, come on. Natsuki's making her work so hard again. Just what good does she find in such a limited, ulcer-inducing life? Oh, wow, what a sentence. I wanted to know. Shannon. What is it that you found? And what did you mean when you said I already knew what I was missing? Shannon, is this something I must learn by learning about you?
What's different about the day of the family conference on Rikenjima?
It only says it's got. Here we go. It's gotta be the noise. There's never this many kids around.
It may have been a tension-filled day for the adults, but to us kids, it was a wonderful day. The only time we got to see all of the cousins we loved. In the summer, we'd play with our cousins on the beach, and even in the winter. There were plenty of games we could play. The family conferences were tons of fun for us.
Same here. Mum was always yelling about how there must be no mistakes, but to me it was just the day I got to play with all my cousins. After all, there's usually nothing to do at Rikenjima. Cringing inside.
Back when I was still a little brat, I always was jealous of Jessica, getting to live in this huge mansion with a private beach. But now that I try putting myself in her shoes, it must have been a pretty constricting place to live. Probably. There's hardly anything on Rikenjima. No friends, houses, no next-door neighbors, no neighborhood. If you think of how Jessica must have felt, you have to feel a little sad for her.
That's why the family conference was so special to me. Jumping around, messing around. It felt like I was at a festival. We played tricks on each other all the time. If the adults always talked about adult things and told you to go play somewhere else.
Then you were 3 cousins at about the same age. Of course you'd horse around. No, not the 3 of us. The 4 of us.
But I thought Angie wasn't born yet, and Maria was still too young to play with you.
You've got it wrong, Fufu. The cousins weren't the only ones at the same age. Shannon-chan was the 4th. She was about the same age as the rest of us.
Mum was always going on about not talking with the servant kids, but Shannon and I started to get close. After all, she was the girl closest to me in age on Rikenjima.
All 4 of us played together. We played at every family conference. Right, Shannon?
Right. I knew that Madam would scold me if she found out, but...
Spotlight switches onto a seat in the audience. Shannon's just sitting there.
I wouldn't have let her. You were always the one close friend I had who could understand me.
Thank you for your words, milady.
I simply could not hide my shock. How had she formed a relationship with the children of the family, despite only being a servant? Natsuki had probably been very careful to prevent such a relationship. However, it's no surprise that Jessica, all alone on this island, would want to become friends with a kid her age. And Shannon was also alone on this island without any friends her age. How did they go to school? Did they have to catch a bus every day? I mean, boat.
Yeah, they had to take a boat, I'm pretty sure.
So they just went to, like, I would have thought that they would have sent Shannon to some, like, crazy fancy private school, though. I don't know whether they would have one, like...
Why is that?
Because she's supposed to be, like, the heir to the family.
Yeah, but they're trying to keep it on the hush.
That Shannon's the heir.
Yeah. Remember, only Genji and Kumasawa knew, and Nanjo.
Oh, wait, not Shannon. Sorry, I meant to say Jessica.
Jessica? I mean, they're on a secluded island. Nijima is the closest place, and you have to take a boat there every day. It's kind of like...
I just don't know why they didn't send her to boarding school.
Well, it's the precious Jessica. She finally gave birth to after killing another child.
Yeah, but it's like quite... I don't know. I feel like boarding school is more safe than like taking a ferry or a boat to school every day. Especially when it's known for having such like stormy weather sometimes.
They're still like... Natsuki is like fully intending like Jessica to potentially like take over after Kraus. So she wants to like, you know, kind of helicopter parent, make sure she turns out to a good adult with the proper mannerisms and smarts and stuff.
And how did that work? Jessica's like the most tomboyish one out of all of them.
Yep. When you try and force something, it usually pushes away instead.
Okay. And Shannon, who was also alone on this island without any friends her age, though they both understood their relationship as master and servant, they somehow managed to strike up a friendship. Then, at the family conference, Jessica had introduced Shannon to George and Battler. All of the adults had their hands full with the complicated discussion in the mansion. During that time, Shannon was able to set aside her role as a servant for a little bit, acting her age with Jessica, George, and Battler. I didn't even know that Shannon had constructed this new world so quickly. As a butterfly hiding in the shadows, I observed this new world of Shannon's.
That day, we ran all around the rose garden and the beach.
Just running around and playing was a blast.
Yep. Those were the only times that Shannon-chan smiled like a girl her age.
I might have gotten a bit carried away. It's embarrassing.
Battler's insanely huge now, but back then, Shannon and I were both taller and stronger than him.
I just grew slowly back then.
They say that those who start late end up the tallest.
Yeah, totally. Back then, your chest was nothing like this, right? That's not true. Shannon already had plenty of womanly charm back then, right?
Why does Battler look like he's about to grope her? What's with the hands? And the eyes is just like...
Did you not remember the first episode?
Oh my goodness.
Who knows?
What the hell do you mean by womanly charm, you perv?
Well, I was still pretty cute back then myself. That bra strap you could see through the shoulder of her summer clothing set off the lightning of youth in me. I can't read this. I remember whispering with George Aniki that night about how big her tits must be.
Is this true, George Summer?
I believe there's been some sort of misunderstanding. All I remember was lecturing him, as the older and more knowledgeable cousin, about the differences between how boys and girls grow. And so, rather than dirty talk between cousins late at night, it was instead a sign of healthy growth and,
Yeah, I remember all of us cousins talking about stuff like that until midnight. About how apparently someone in the next class had kissed someone else. Or how you held hands with a girl you liked at summer camp. And about so-and-so who you thought probably liked you, stuff like that. Damn it, it's so embarrassing it makes me shiver.
isn't that nice? What?
Jessica's just become, I don't know. She's transformed into the most bogan character.
It always was.
It wasn't this bogan
It
before.
was.
It was
It was
not.
worse.
Just Blinky Bill with a pigtail.
That was literally the inspiration for the character, remember? Said do Blinky Bill. Another sweet page in the book of adolescence.
The most pure love comes when boys and girls first start noticing each other.
That simple, pure desire just to be around someone of the opposite sex. The noble first loves.
Just wonderful. A bunch of kids thinking and talking about the world of love.
Did that sort of thing really happen?
Don't play dumb. You were the most absorbed and curious of all of us. I did say that right. Of all of us. Sitting there till even your ears turned red.
I was not curious. I was just surprised at how much everyone knew. And,
That's right. Shannon always played dumb the most, even though she was the most interested. She was the biggest pervert there.
That's not true. That's not true. I hate you, milady.
Yeah, it was always dumb like this. In the day, we'd run around like kids, and at night, we'd hug our pillows and talk about secret stuff. Looking back on all of it now, it really brings back some fond memories. We'd be whispering about something dirty, and then whenever we heard the footsteps of the adults coming by, we'd jump under the covers and pretend to be sleeping.
Yeah, I remember that. Like some school field trip.
There's times we all dove under the covers at once. I felt like some sort of unspoken rule, like a strange sense of unity. I really liked that feeling.
Oh, well, anyway, that's not all we talked about. There was a lot more than that. We really did enjoy our youth to the fullest.
And what is this? Shannon, is this that fun thing of the human world? Is this incomprehensible messing around the thing that you found? A bunch of kids gathered together, playing stupid games and talking about trivial matters. Is this the human pleasure you found that surpasses the pleasure of witches?
Yes. Doesn't it look fun to you?
I won't call it boring. However, I cannot see how such a vulgar game could compare to my paradise, where all wishes can be granted.
interacting with people is a lot of fun. Of course, I also think your world is fun. But even so, I choose this world.
I don't understand. I don't understand at all.
Beatrice held her head as though she was having a headache, but no matter how much she grimaced, she couldn't think of an answer.
Tell me, what is it you found with this vulgar playing?
Do you want to know?
I do.
What is it?
It's love!
Love.
Love. Oh, we see the world in colour!
Here.
No, not colour!
It's the
Sorry.
Queen book, I promised.
Thank you very much. I'd be happy to borrow it.
That's okay, you can keep it, Shannon-chan. I've already read it.
But I can't accept this. It was probably expensive.
It's just something I got for a few hundred yen at the bazaar. Don't worry about it. I'd rather if you read it quickly so we can talk about it. It's fun to talk about this sort of stuff with you, Shannon-chan.
Yeah, it's fun for me too. It's much more fun to read mystery novels with two people instead of alone.
She replaced Kumasawa.
What?
She
Oh,
replaced
yeah.
Kumasawa.
That's true.
I like talking about it and imagining all sorts of things. With mystery novels, reading's only half the fun. My theory is that you can only really enjoy it when you talk with other people who've read it too.
How did he suck so much at solving problems when he grew up reading mystery novels?
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not
Probably
sure.
just go with Shannon, because Shannon's the diary entry.
Our relationship began when we realized that we both read mystery novels. We were both surprised and very interested to find that the other not only read tons of mystery novels, but read them very thoroughly. Ever since then, it's been like this. Separate the games we played with all the cousins, the two of us. Oh, let me read that again. Ever since then, it's been like this. Separate from the games we played with all of the cousins, the two of us met together for some time alone. At first, it was like a sort of contest to see who knew more than the other. However, eventually this turned into respect for how much the other had read and how deeply they were able to think about it. Respect, trust, those emotions made our friendship grow stronger. Of course, all of that had still fallen within the category of friendship. But we were still slightly aware of the fact that the other was of the opposite sex, making for a relationship that was charming or youthful, or maybe you could call it exciting. However, we were still at that age where calling us young men and women would probably be a bit too gracious. Of course, we didn't know anything about love, so we couldn't understand that exciting feeling in our chests, both bitter and sweet, that we only felt when we were alone together. However, we realized that there was some unknown emotion hidden behind that feeling. And as our hearts raced, we had our hands upon the door. That was the exciting age we were at. So, at some point, our discussions about mystery novels just became an excuse for us meeting alone.
There aren't many mystery novels that care much about the why done it.
The why done it? You mean the culprit's motive?
Yeah. There are 3 points you need to figure out in mystery novels: the who done it, the how done it, and the why done it. A lot of mysteries deal with the first two, but it's surprisingly few worry about the final one.
Well, I know about many works that take great care to have the culprit confess his motive after he has been found out.
But it has to be something you can reason out before the culprit confesses, or it doesn't count. Personally, I think it's unfair for a person who supposedly didn't have a motive to commit the crime, unless it's possible to reason his or her motive out.
Who done it? Who's the culprit? How done it? How did he commit the crime? Why done it? Why did he commit the crime?
There are a ton of works that ask about who the culprit is and what the trick they used.
What tricks they used?
In fact, almost all are like that. However, I don't think there are many novels that ask you to figure out the motive.
Good point. That might be the most neglected of the three.
Mysteries don't take the why done it seriously. Don't really feel complete to me. No, I'm not saying they're boring. It's more like they're missing the most important part.
Most important part is missing?
The heart. The heart is missing.
The heart.
I think the human heart is a really important thing. If a person's going to decide to commit murder, plan it out, get everything ready, and actually carry it out, you'd need an incredibly strong force of the heart. The heart is what moves people.
In other words, only the heart can kill a person. When an emotional upheaval... Are we sure this is Shannon reading? I'll keep going then. When an emotional upheaval grows strong enough to make a person want to kill, the result is the tragedy called murder. If we turn it around, does that mean that the true way to close in on the crime is by searching for the heart that brings about the tragedy of murder? Only the heart can kill a person, so if a person has been killed, you must search for the heart. If that's what he's saying, that is what he's saying.
That's why I can't really enjoy novels where the culprit is just a homicidal maniac who kills for fun.
Then you like to read novels that show a strong enough movement of the heart to lead to murder?
That's right. And my favourite ones are the novels that let you reason that out.
As he spoke, he looked back at me and smiled. Before today, I used to like novels that focused on exposing tricks. However, I decided to look for novels like the ones he recommended in the future.
I don't like neglecting the heart. The heart is what makes people move.
Yeah, I think you're right. This isn't limited to the mystery genre. All humans are moved by their hearts all the time. Being able to notice the heart is what allows for interactions between people. No, interactions between hearts. None of us humans can live on our own, and yet we have no way of peeking into the hearts of others. That's why every meeting between people is a mystery of the heart. Finding those, reasoning about them, and understanding each other is the key to interactions between people and hearts. The two of us here, all alone, talking about mysteries together. And through that, we were searching out each other's hearts, speaking of the heart's mysteries. I want you to feel about me the way I feel about you. We're both searching, trying to figure out the depths of the other's heart in this mystery of love.
Look how late it's gotten. I wonder if Aniki and the others are waiting for us.
Yes, we should probably go back soon.
Time seems to fly by when I'm talking with you, Shannon-chan.
You seem to be speaking the words of my heart. We were thinking the same thing, so the same words came out. I wish we could talk like this forever. I hate clocks.
Same here. Talking about this stuff with you is the most fun part of coming to Rikenjima.
When I saw that his smiling eyes were looking right at me, I turned away. I couldn't let him see my suddenly red face. If only I could leave this place, I'd be able to read so much more. The bookshop on Nijima that I go to and the bookshop he goes to in the city are on completely different scales. The book exchange between the two of us had become completely one-sided, with him giving me all the books.
How long do you plan to be a servant, Shannon-chan?
I don't know.
If someday you decide to quit,
If I do?
come over to my place.
Ah, it's the song.
It's already played twice.
How old is Battler compared to Shannon?
I assume this is the 6 years ago thing, so that he'd be like 12-ish, maybe?
And Shannon is
Within 2 to 3 years of that.
older? Or younger?
Older or younger, I'm not sure.
Then how old is she in comparison to George? I'm just trying to figure out, like, if they're the same age and they're like spending a little time together, that makes sense. And I'm trying to figure out how it's shifted from Battler to George, who is supposed to be he's not. How much older is he than Battler? Or are they all around the same
I
age?
think 3 years. I need to look up the ages again.
Because even like at that young age, 3 years seems so much older than when you're an adult. 3 years isn't that old at all. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just trying to figure out where the shift happened.
Don't know.
Where George is like, Shannon. I've got my
He
eyes
was
on
always
you.
like that.
Oh, really? He liked her
Yeah,
from the
that-
beginning?
Yeah, he's mentioned that before.
How
He's
did
like-
he deal with it if she's spending so much time with Battler?
Yeah,
he
yeah.
would have noticed.
He said he was always jealous of like seeing them together. He's mentioned this like a few times.
Is this right in the beginning, though?
No, these were like in some of the recent episodes, like episode 6 and stuff, I think.
I don't know, I kind of like Shannon and Battler together because they, compared with George, because when what we've seen with George and Shannon is, I don't know, it feels very much like, oh, George, I'll do whatever you say, and he's like so intense, whereas this feels a little bit more like they have stuff in common with Battler.
Just like a natural.
Yeah, more of a like natural relationship than and there's no like, because there's also like an imbalance of power, I think, with George and Shannon, because he's, I don't know,
Because he's what?
like a master figure.
He's a god. You see the
my
way he
goodness.
dances with
Oh
those
my
roses.
With his shoes and his castanets going.
When he kicks a lady but doesn't actually kick her.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness. It's so hot. What is going on with my echo?
Yeah, it gets hot when you think about George, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness. You're killing me here. You're killing me. No, I'm Team Shannon Battler. I feel like I asked you about the two of them like early on, because I remember they did used to talk. I'm sure Battler mentioned something about like having a crush on Shannon
Yes,
in like the
it's
very first few like episodes.
It's mentioned like
really
2 or
early
3
on.
times in the series. It's not something that they focus on. It's like it's a passing sentence and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't hear about it that often.
Okay.
He said it almost carelessly. Maybe he was a bit embarrassed since he laughed weakly and blushed a little.
And then we won't need to worry about time running out anymore.
That's right. We could be together as long as we wanted. The little secret dates on this island only happened a few times a year. And even when they did happen, it was only for a short, uncertain period of time. It wouldn't work over the phone or with letters. We can only talk about our mystery when we're standing together like this.
I know that day will come someday.
You think it will?
Yeah, I'm certain of it.
Certain? Why is he certain?
When that day comes, I'll come for you, riding a white horse.
What? After saying this, he turned away. He was probably too proud to show me his blushing cheeks, but even without seeing, I knew what his face looked like.
She even said that once. She was like, I think you said something about coming for me on a white horse. And he was like, did I say that?
Oh, when she was teasing him.
Yeah.
To come riding on a white horse. Isn't that like a prince riding a white horse? So what exactly does that mean? Does it mean you're going to be my prince? My mind was going blank, so I just couldn't reason out his mystery of love, even though it was all plain and simple. I wonder when that day will come.
Anytime you're ready.
Huh? My heart skipped a beat. It was so sweet, yet it hurt.
Anytime's good for me. This is your life we're talking about, Shana-chan. You should think about it carefully before you decide. And once you've made up your mind, I'll respect your decision, no matter when you make it.
Okay.
I'll keep on waiting until that day comes.
If only I'd been a bit more foolish and courageous. I could have said then and there that I was already prepared and asked him to take me away from this island right away. But I couldn't say it. I had to think carefully about my future, for both our sakes. My head was filled with pointless, senseless thoughts. I'm glad. Thank you. With his back still to me, he scratched his head and laughed. I knew he was doing this out of embarrassment, so I could clearly tell what his expression must have been. In the same way, he must have realized what my face looked like. We're both puzzle solvers of love. We theorize about each other's love, solving each other's mysteries. Thanks for giving me time.
You have all the time in the world.
No, I'd feel bad if I kept you waiting for too long. So, I've decided. No, I should say that I will decide. I don't mean that I'll quit my job today, right now. Yes, 1 year. 1 year from now. If a year after now you still feel like coming for me on a white horse. And me too. If I still like you for... Is this Shannon?
Yeah.
If I still like you a year from now, I'd like to dedicate the rest of my life to you. 1 year from now, right here, I'd like to make my decision.
A year, huh? That sounds good. Spring, summer, autumn, winter. That's a good amount of time to look honestly into your heart.
So, next year, please come for me, okay?
Yep.
He responded to my cowardly determination with a quick, strong answer.
I'll be waiting for that day to come.
Yes. I'll be waiting too. Make sure you come, okay?
Yeah.
Don't forget. Come here next year, okay?
Yeah, I'll come. That's for certain. Certain. I'll meet you there.
That's for certain.
So, is it when he went back, like, Asumu died? Asumu's dead, right?
She is in the future, yeah?
Because I remember that there was they split. His parents split and he was really angry with his dad. So he didn't come back. Is that what happened? Like, she was waiting and he forgot because he was dealing with family drama?
Perhaps. I mean, yes, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like, why else would he have not come back? It was
Yeah.
because of that whole thing.
But he completely forgot about it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Should it?
What?
I was just gonna say you shouldn't make promises that you can't keep.
He's a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, I know.
You say
But
dumb stuff.
I feel like it seems to be in Japanese culture that promises are taken very seriously. Don't you? Like, you see all these animes where like, we'll be together or we'll get married when we get older. And I've even like
Real
heard
life is
of
different from anime.
no, Deki. I've heard of a family who had an exchange student. Maybe this is a one-off case, and like she made a bet with one of the sons that if she beat him in, I can't remember what it was, like some competition or wrestling or surfing or something. If she beat him in that they would have to get married, and was like, yeah, sure, and thought that she would never be able to beat him. But she beat him and was like, oh, I guess we're going to get married. And they were teenagers. And then like years later when he was an adult, like she came back and was like, I'm here to get married, like pretty much. And I think he was engaged at the time and was like really awkward. She was like, but you promised.
I don't know. I guess it just differs from different people. Like, I would try to be as responsible as, like, promises and stuff. Like, hey, you can't tell this person that I said that I like them, okay? And then I would be like, okay. And then I would just, like, keep my lips shut. Unlike most other people. A lot of my friends.
I'm pretty bad. I'm pretty bad at that stuff too.
I think if I'm conscious about it, I won't say anything if I've like promised. But if there is the chance that I will forget.
Luckily, sometimes my memory is like crazy good, and other times my memory is like it's like a sieve. It just all leaks out of my brain.
Well, sometimes it's not even like about memory. It's like there was like a whole thing about like someone liking someone back when I was super young, and then like I was talking with someone, and like they were like close with like the involved people, and they were like really sociable. So I was like, oh, they already know about this or knew about it, and so I just like mentioned it, and they're like, wait, that was a thing? I was like, oh crap. So like, it's weird. Sometimes you don't know like who the people have like told and not.
Yeah,
And you'd be like, you'd expect them to tell like this other person who is like even closer to them than you, and then you're just like, oh, whoops. They trusted me with the secret and I just broke it. Whoops.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a culture thing. Perhaps I can see it being like a little bit more respected than it would be in like our culture and stuff.
I don't know. It's possible that things have changed as well, like with modernization.
I mean, like, you've got like marriage and stuff, and that's not going so great these days for any culture. And like marriage is meant to be like, you know, the whole promise between husband and wife, so it's like, I don't know. Yeah, it's might not be as, what do you call it? Promises might not be as important as you're thinking in like Japan, perhaps.
Also, there's like less stigma around divorce. It's more common.
Well, in
You gotta
Japan
remember-
or like just everywhere?
I feel like there's, because you got to understand, in some cultures, like if we go back 30 years, it was more acceptable for people to how do I say something that won't be like bad, to
You're
see
gonna say like beat their wife? Then get
no,
divorced?
I was gonna say like it was more socially accepted. Like the shame of divorce was so bad in some cultures that people just chose to commit not living anymore.
Sudoku.
Yeah, it'll go with Sudoku. So I don't know, I feel like we've progressed since those times.
I don't know. That's a whole other topic, I think.
Yeah.
Could go into that a lot.
But
We won't.
apparently Shannon was so like, was she not actually in love with George then? Like, why kill him? Why kill everyone?
Well, we're gonna have to find that out, aren't we? We've just done, I think that was chapter 5 of the,
Because
book thing.
George is like obsessed with her.
I feel like Shannon's like his trophy.
Yeah, it does.
Because he's like, see, I got the girl that I wanted, that Battler had. Look at me now.
But George is like, I will burn the world to the ground if it means that you and I can be together. He's like that type of character. So it's like there is like a trophy, I guess a trophy aspect to it, but also a very like possessive nature.
That's what a trophy is.
Possessive? What? Really?
No, like, to like, have a trophy is to be like,
Yeah,
to form
but
it, and to be like, this is my possession.
I thought trophy wives and things were like things to be shown off.
Yeah, that's
Not
exactly
necessarily
what I'm
like super possessive though. I feel like George is possessive.
Well, you gotta be possessive to like have a trophy in the first place. Trophy wife.
Okay, I will think about your theory.
Oh, I don't know. Look, I say things that are on my mind, but that not always correct or anything. It's just my opinion.
It's just you have a different understanding of it than I do, so it's interesting.
Spatler.
You could even say that Beatrice is possessive over Shannon.
Say that Beatrice is possessive over Battler.
Yeah. Beatrice is just possessive.
Yeah, Beatrice is possessive.
Battler.
Who's the trophy in that situation?
I don't know. It seems like, oh my gosh. Kinzo's got issues. Kinzo has like severe issues. Oh my goodness. Kinzo needs to go to an old people's home.
He's in one.
He
He just
pretty much
divided his
is,
family
isn't he?
to it as well.
Oh my goodness. His poor, like, mistress, wife, I don't know what to call original Beatrice,
Yeah, it's just...
would be, like, rolling in her grave. Be so sad. Oh, poor Beatrice chick.
You can ask her how she feels while he's burning in the oven.
Do you think she found out? Or he, or they found out?
Who?
Beatrice of the Night.
What, found out
That they're actually related?
to Kinzo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, after, like, finding out you're related, that you're a child of, I don't know an alternative word for, yes. Have we used the I word before?
Incest?
Yeah. I was trying not to use it.
Probably. I think you have. I think you said it.
Maybe. They're a product of Wincest.
Winston.
Cringe test. And then like that you grew up, like that you're practically like an heir, and like it's basically she's they've been bossed around by their sister-in-law most of their life, bullied by servants, serving everyone. Practically Cinderella.
Do you mean Natsuki is the sister-in-law?
Yeah.
That's so, like, it just confuses me too much when I think about that stuff.
But it's true.
I know, it's just like...
Natsuki is the sister-in-law and the...
So are the cousins Shannon's, what, nieces and nephews or something then?
Yeah. They are. So she's in love with her nephews.
Two of them, apparently.
No, it's getting... my brain. Oh. I think it's time for a break. It's time for a break.
Until next time.